Hi, I'm Lisa Soltis with the City of Roanoke Department of Economic Development. Thank you for joining us for BizRoanoke. And today we have with us Kay Dunkley. Kay is the director of the Virginia Tech Roanoke Center. Good morning, Kay.
Good morning, Lisa.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting us.
And we're here to learn a little bit about the Virginia Tech Roanoke Center. And my first question would be, tell us about the center and tell us how it actually partners with and enhances economic development in the city of Roanoke.
As you know, Lisa, we're an outreach campus of the university. We fall under the Division of Outreach and International Affairs, so it's incumbent upon us to bring the rich resources of the university here to meet the diverse needs of the citizens of Roanoke. So we offer master's and doctoral degrees as well as continuing and professional development. And you know as well as I do that if workers in our workplace feel good about what they're doing and they're skilled and productive, they're going to make a very strong contribution for the organization of which they work. To me, it's a direct tie to economic development. Happy workers, productive workers, makes the organization vibrant, helps their bottom line. We're living in an ever-changing world and a global economy. So I think education and economic development play hand in hand.
Fantastic. Tell us a little bit about some of the courses that are offered here.
We offer master's and doctoral degrees in areas where I call the working practitioner. So in other words, a local government certificate. So managers and supervisors working for government can come here to talk about what are the ever-changing things that are happening within public service, as you know. Our professional MBA program elevates the skills of our business majors, and we are training the next principals and administrators for public schools. Very excited about our educational leadership, as well as counselors in a clinical setting and also for public schools. The second component that we do is continuing and professional education. So we offer certifications such as project management professional certification, a lot of Lean Six Sigma for the city, as you know, and Chris Morrill wants to make sure that that's embedded into the culture of the city. And we're offering a lot of safety training for OSHA certifications as well as leadership development. The City of Roanoke wants to make sure that supervisors and managers receive knowledge about the best practices of leadership development, how emotional intelligence plays in the role that we play each and every day, making ethical decisions, smart decisions, being creative in the workplace, and how to communicate effectively. You also know, Lisa, that we oversee the Sustainability Center, the Catawba. So agribusiness, ecotourism, and so forth. Growers Academy, Field to Fork, an event that we've sponsored with you, and training beekeepers and summer growers.
I believe you have a beekeepers workshop coming up very soon.
We do on Saturday.
Yes, absolutely. Talk to me a little bit about the future plans and growth of the Virginia Tech Roanoke Center.
Lisa, you are aware that Dr. Timothy Sands, our new president, joined us last year.
Yes.
He's very committed to community outreach and community development and what it is to actually do what the land-grant institution is supposed to do, and that is to bring easy access of educational opportunities to the citizens in which we serve. So he's not only committed to our outreach centers, but we will see, I think, an increase in visibility, also an increase in programming. We're hiring a new provost. So all of which the senior management culture believes access to higher education opportunities for the citizens in which we serve. And we know how that contributes to economic development, skilled workforce, but also to elevate and retool and retrain. Do whatever the needs are for our community.
Kay, thank you so very much for the overview, and thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Hi, welcome back to BizRoanoke, and we're with Chris Morrill. Chris is the city manager of Roanoke. Hi, Chris.
Lisa, good
Welcome.
to see you.
Today we're talking about partnerships with Virginia Tech and the city of Roanoke. Can you tell us about the significance of our City of Roanoke partnerships with Virginia Tech.
Sure. You know, we're so fortunate to have a top research university just down the road. And Virginia Tech's been such a strong presence. I mean, first you can see here, this is the physical, you know, partnership you see here in Virginia Tech Carilion, but there's so many other ways with the brain power they bring to the area. It helps us in incredible ways here.
And how do you think that these partnerships influence economic development in Roanoke?
You know, I think to have an institution with Virginia Tech's reputation helps us bring in prospects, and we can partner them, and whether it's engineering or it's advanced research or medical, to have that resource right here helps bring folks in, and then I think it helps keep people, and then their graduates are a great pool for businesses to use.
I know that you've been here 5 years, but there have been a lot of partnerships over the last probably 20 years.
Right.
Can you talk to us a little bit about past partnerships and future partnerships with Virginia Tech?
Right. You know, I think this was one of the early partnerships, and since then we've developed the Virginia Tech Carilion Medical School and Research Center, which is continuing to grow. I think their presence here, we feel on a daily basis with the Higher Education Center. And then in other smaller ways, for example, we work with their School of Industrial Engineering to help us improve our processes here so we can provide better services to our residents. It has transformed our police department here.
Fantastic. And let's talk about maybe the future. What future partnerships do you see out there?
You know,
Virginia Tech?
Right. I think Virginia Tech is clearly committed to its mission as a land-grant university, and they see their role in the local area here.
Right.
So I think we're just going to see more ways that we're going to collaborate and work together, because I think we're all into building a stronger, more vibrant community, and they're a big player in that.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time today and your insight on the partnerships, and we will be right back. Thank you. Welcome back. We're with Dr. Michael Friedlander. Dr. Friedlander is the Executive Director of the Virginia Tech Carilion Research Institute here in Roanoke. Hi, Dr. Friedlander.
Hi, Lisa.
Thank you for being with us today.
My pleasure.
Today we're talking about the Virginia Tech partnerships with the City of Roanoke. So we'd love for you to tell us a little bit about the Research Institute and how it was created and why.
The Research Institute was created as a partnership between Virginia Tech and Carilion Clinic. It's a wonderful example of a public-private partnership, and it was to focus primarily, and it does, on biomedical and health research here in Roanoke. So in 2010, our doors opened late in the summer of 2010, and we began very quickly recruiting nationally prominent leaders in medical research from all over the country, really all over the world, and assembling a staff to get things going. And it's been a very fast and exciting ride the last 4.5 years or so. We have close to 200 people working here in the Institute, about 23 or 24 research team leaders, and they account now for a total of about $50 million in research grant activity.
And that sort of goes into my next question, and how this facility influences economic development in the city of Roanoke. Talk about that a little bit.
Sure, and so we've brought people here from, as I said, all over the country and the world. Many of them bring their families with them, of course, and they move into the community. They buy homes or rent apartments and homes, of course, and so they're clearly spending money in the community. They're very involved culturally and with community affairs as well. These are families, many of them young families with kids that are involved with the schools, and they take great pride in being part of Roanoke. I mean, they all love it here. We all do. And so I think it has an impact in many ways above the economic impact. But we've actually calculated that our what we call research expenditures have averaged about $20 to $25 million a year since our inception. And then there's a multiplier effect for that. There have been many studies done nationally to show how a dollar spent in the biomedical research arena percolates through the local economy. And we estimate at this time there's been something close to $175 million of economic impact here in the Roanoke area so far.
Wow, that's amazing. You have all of these researchers that have come in. Tell us a little bit about their areas of expertise, what they're studying, and how you all collaborate with the Blacksburg campus.
Yeah, our biggest area of focus right now is brain research, or what sometimes is called neuroscience. So we have investigators studying a whole host of aspects of how the brain functions in health, and what goes wrong in a variety of disorders. So, for example, we have a focus on areas of aging-related degeneration of the brain, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, for example. And these are big and increasingly important issues, of course, as our society ages. We also work on the other end of the spectrum. We have a number of people working on childhood development and early brain development, how experience and education and nutrition affect the later outcomes. And then we work in the middle as well, traumatic brain injury, psychiatric disorders, addiction, substance abuse. So that whole brain research area is our biggest focus area, but we also have outstanding research teams in cardiovascular sciences, both health and disease, working on heart regeneration and repair, abnormal electrical rhythms in the heart, sudden cardiac death, for example. And then we have a cancer research team focusing on both breast and brain cancers. And then we have a group working in infection and immunity, autoimmune disorders, infections of childhood. So our four big thematic areas are indeed brain research, cancer, heart research, and infectious disease. And each of those ties us to the Blacksburg community as well, because in many of those areas we have outstanding colleagues across the entire Virginia Tech campus in Blacksburg, and we collaborate with people in biomedical engineering, biology, psychology, etc. So it really feels like an extended and integrated single mega campus between Blacksburg and Roanoke. We're starting to feel like a real unified community.
Very good. Thank you for that explanation. That's all good stuff.
You're welcome.
Let's talk a little bit about future growth of VTC-RI and where that is looking to be.
Yeah, well, we're going to continue to build in these four areas. We decided early on we're not going to try to be everything. We want to be really good at a few things, and we want to be recognized truly around the world. And frankly, some of the brain research programs I've already mentioned are indeed recognized internationally. We get a lot of coverage in press and everything from the London Times, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, papers all over the country. The Today Show has been here several times to feature programs based on the research here. So our investigators in those areas definitely get a lot of notoriety, and well-deserved, I should add. But we're going to continue to grow those programs. One area in particular we're really growing now is in the brain tumor or cancers of the nervous system area. This is an area that brings our cancer researchers and our brain researchers together. And it's a very important area both in the pediatric realm as well as in the adult realm. The other thing we're doing is working very closely not only with our colleagues here at Carilion Clinic, but with colleagues at other medical centers as well. One of them in particular I'll mention is the Children's National Medical Center in Washington, D.C. We recently partnered, both Carilion Clinic and Virginia Tech and the VTC-RI, with the Children's National Medical Center to work together on an integrated, what's called a clinical and translational science program. And we're waiting now to hear at the national level whether the funding hits. We hope it will. It would be a $20 million program. But that's an example of how we're really trying to grow our programs and make more partnerships and collaborations within Roanoke and beyond.
Dr. Friedlander, thank you so much for sharing this update on the Virginia Tech Carilion Research Institute. We look forward to great things to come, and thank you again for your time today.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's been my pleasure.
And we'll be right back. Thank you for joining us. If you need more information regarding the Virginia Tech partnerships or the City of Roanoke Department of Economic Development, please give me a call. My name is Lisa Soltis. The telephone number is 540-853-1694, or you may reach me by email at lisa.soltis@roanokeva.gov. Thank you.